This is the iBox Epoca, a DAB and FM radio with Bluetooth. The radio features stereo speakers and a large rechargeable battery, giving up to 15 hours of playback. The radio in this review is light blue, but there are some other colours available as well. In the box is the iBox Epoca, an instruction booklet and a USB-A to USB Micro B cable. There's no USB power supply included, as is the case with some digital radios now. An existing USB power supply can be used, or you can of course buy one separately. Reception of DAB digital radio stations is good, with the radio picking up all the expected stations according to the digital radio coverage checker. When we scanned for stations during our testing, the radio found some stations that we haven't received before with a portable DAB radio. The FM scan also worked well. A common issue we have with DAB and FM radios in our location is that the radios will scan past most FM stations, but when you tune them in manually they actually sound fine and the RDS radio text does come up. We didn't have this problem with the Epoca, which stopped on all the FM stations we would expect to receive in this location. Bluetooth version 5.0 is included, and we were able to connect a smartphone and a laptop with no problems. There's also an aux-in socket for connecting something like an iPod, which doesn't have Bluetooth. Instructions are included in the form of a booklet. The instructions are clear and easy to follow, with icons showing which button to press and the information that will be shown on the display. The controls are all on the top of the radio next to the display. We've got the left and right buttons here for going through your DAB stations or through scanning stations on FM, so you can find the station that you want to listen to. Go back to T's and then press the enter button to confirm, and that'll tune it in. You've got a menu button there, so if you ever want to set off something like a full scan on DAB, or if you want to do things like change the brightness of the backlight, you can do that in the system settings there. You've got an info button, so if you want to toggle through the different things that are available, different information, such as you want to see the signal strength or the multiplex, the program type, frequency, you've got the time and date, all that sort of thing there. You've got a mode button, so you can go over to FM. If you press it again, it'll take you to the Bluetooth mode, and then once more for the aux-in, so that's using the audio socket on the back of the radio. Press it once more to go back to DAB. We've got the power button here next to the volume up and down. And then on the next row we've got preset, we'll look at the presets in a bit. Sleep, so you can access that through the menu, but a dedicated button for the sleep timer. Scan, so as I say again, in the menu you've got those options, but you've got a dedicated button there. And then this one here, the enter button to confirm selections or play pause in the Bluetooth mode. Volume is controlled with this knob on the top of the radio. It does go pretty loud. You don't need to turn that up very much for the radio to go quite loud. So yeah, those are the controls on the top of the radio. Two front-facing speakers sit behind the silver grille on the front of the radio with a passive bass radiator. The specifications list the audio output power as 2 × 2 watts. This is more than enough for the study and the kitchen that we tested the radio in. At the lowest 2 volume settings we were able to easily hear music, news and radio comedies. Stations like BBC Radio 2, Greatest Hits Radio and Heart 90s all sound good. We also listened to some documentaries on BBC Radio 4 on FM, and background and ambient sounds all sounded fine. It would have been good to have finer controls over the volume at lower levels. We suspect that we would have used a level between 1 and 2 if it were available. We also found that the radio would switch on at level 4 even if it was at a lower level when it was switched off. Once used to these quirks, they weren't much of an issue, but it would be good to see these addressed in future models. Headphones plug into the 3.5mm socket on the back of the radio. Using our normal Sennheiser monitoring headphones, we were pleasantly surprised by the sound from this output. There aren't any dedicated preset buttons, but 30 are available to save and recall in the DAB and FM radio modes. The process for saving and recalling presets is fairly simple. The iBox Epoca is rechargeable with 2 2000 mAh batteries built in. According to the specifications, up to 15 hours of listening at 60% volume is possible. At the volume level of 2 out of 16, which is more than enough where we tested the radio, we were able to achieve 35 hours and 20 minutes of DAB digital radio listening. Overall, the iBox Epoca offers impressive sound, good reception of DAB stations and considerable battery life from a single charge. The vintage-inspired design looks good while retaining sensible controls on the top of the radio. Thank you very much for watching this video. You can follow the links below to read the full review on the website and see more digital radio reviews.